Hello everyone, welcome to Nanuya channel. And today we're diving into a topic that's often misunderstood, but incredibly important. Complex PTSD, also known as CPTSD, and what its symptoms look like. Let's start with the basics. CPTSD, or Complex Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, is a psychological condition that can develop due to prolonged repeated exposure to traumatic events, particularly in situations where escape isn't possible. Unlike PTSD, which often results from a single traumatic incident, CPTSD is usually the outcome of chronic trauma, such as ongoing childhood abuse, domestic violence, or living in a war zone. What sets CPTSD apart is the depth and complexity of its symptoms. It affects not only how a person reacts to specific reminders of trauma, but also how they see themselves, relate to others, and interpret the world around them. These changes can become ingrained in the person's nervous system, making it hard to function normally, even in safe environments. Over time, the constant stress rewires the brain, especially areas involved in emotion regulation, memory, and fear responses. CPTSD isn't just a cluster of emotional and psychological responses. It's a lived experience that colors everything from the way someone wakes up in the morning to how they fall asleep at night and every moment in between. Real-life experience with PTSD. Someone said, "I want to share something personal because stories are powerful. After my little brother was murdered at 20, I was 22. I developed PTSD, though I didn't realize it at the time. I thought my intense symptoms were just part of grief. My worst struggles were severe insomnia and overwhelming paranoia. I couldn't sleep even with sleeping pills and felt constantly on edge, afraid and hyper-aware, often sleeping with a gun under my pillow. The trauma of his sudden, violent death left me feeling vulnerable, emotionally numb, withdrawn, and anxious in public places where I'd always map out emergency exits. It wasn't until I got diagnosed and treated that I truly began to heal. PTSD is real, but it's also treatable, and seeking help was one of the best decisions I ever made." Let's break down the key symptoms in more detail. Re-experiencing the trauma. This can look like vivid flashbacks that play out like movies in your head, often triggered by a smell, a sound, or a situation. For instance, someone might hear a door slam and suddenly feel as if they're back in a traumatic environment. These episodes aren't just emotional, they're sensory. Your body reacts as if it's in real danger. Nightmares disrupt rest, making recovery even harder. Intrusive thoughts can feel uncontrollable and may show up in moments of calm or happiness, making it hard to fully enjoy life. Emotional dysregulation. Survivors of chronic trauma often have a nervous system stuck in fight, flight, or freeze. This causes unpredictable emotional swings, from rage and sobbing to a numb, disconnected state. These reactions aren't overreactions. They're the body trying to survive based on past experience. This might manifest as outbursts at minor stressors or shutting down during conflict. People with C-PTSD often say they feel like they're too much or not enough, cycling between emotional extremes. Negative self-perception. Internalized shame is a huge factor here. Survivors may think, "If I were lovable, that wouldn't have happened to me," or "I'm permanently damaged." This voice of self-judgment can become a constant mental soundtrack. It's not just low self-esteem, it's a core belief that one is unworthy. This deeply rooted view can block a person from seeking help or feeling deserving of better treatment. Even when others offer love or support, it may be hard to believe it's genuine. Interpersonal difficulties. Trust becomes a battlefield. Even safe people can feel dangerous. Someone with CPTSD might test relationships, pull away when things get too good, or cling tightly out of fear of abandonment. It can be confusing both for them and for the people who care about them. Some might avoid intimacy altogether, while others may stay in harmful dynamics just to feel a sense of belonging. It's a tug of war between the fear of being alone and the fear of being hurt again. Distorted perceptions of the perpetrator. This can mean still idolizing, defending, or obsessively thinking about the person who caused the trauma. It's a survival mechanism. Sometimes it's safer to believe the abuser wasn't all bad than to face the full horror of what happened. This is known as trauma bonding. Survivors may feel guilty for feeling empathy or loyalty toward their abuser, and that guilt adds another layer of pain. Breaking this bond can feel like tearing away a part of oneself. Loss of meaning or faith. Trauma can shake the foundations of belief and identity. Someone who once believed the world was a safe place might now feel that danger is everywhere. Faith in a higher power, or in humanity as a whole, may vanish. This loss can lead to feelings of isolation, existential dread, or hopelessness. When life feels random or cruel, survivors may ask, "What's the point?" Not out of drama, but from genuine despair. Rebuilding meaning is often a key part of recovery. Living with CPTSD can feel like being trapped in a storm, even on a sunny day. Hypervigilance means constantly scanning the environment for threats, never being able to truly relax. It can look like checking your phone obsessively, always sitting with your back to the wall in public, or interpreting neutral expressions as signs of danger. Over time, this wears the body down and can lead to chronic exhaustion. Sleep becomes a battleground. Insomnia keeps people awake with racing thoughts. Nightmares pull them back into the trauma. Even if they sleep, they may wake up tense and unrested. Cognitive effects are equally difficult. It's not just distraction. It's like your brain is overloaded with threat signals, leaving little space for memory, focus, or planning. This makes school, work, or even grocery shopping a challenge. Physical symptoms like migraines, muscle pain, digestive problems, or autoimmune issues can become chronic. Many people with CPTSD find themselves cycling through doctors without answers because the cause is emotional, not medical. Coping mechanisms are often misunderstood. People-pleasing becomes a way to stay safe, especially for those who were punished for expressing needs. Perfectionism is about controlling one's environment to avoid criticism or rejection. Dissociation is like mentally leaving the room to survive emotional overload. It can feel like watching yourself from outside your body or losing chunks of time. These are not signs of weakness. They're creative, adaptive strategies that once kept someone alive. But over time, they can interfere with living fully. Healing is possible. It's not fast, and it's not linear, but it's real. Therapies like EMDR, IFS, somatic experiencing, and sensoromotor psychotherapy are designed to work with trauma, not against it. They honor the body's response rather than suppress it. Medication can reduce symptoms enough to allow space for deeper healing. It's not about numbing out, but about getting a break from the intensity. Support is crucial. That might mean a trauma-informed therapist, peer support group, or simply someone who listens without trying to fix. Books, podcasts, art, and nature can all offer unexpected sources of validation and insight. Recovery includes rediscovering safety, not just outside. but inside yourself. Learning how to self-soothe, set boundaries, and listen to your body's needs are powerful milestones. You don't have to become who you were before the trauma. You get to become someone new, someone who knows their worth, their power, and their right to peace. If anything in today's episode resonated with you, know that it's okay to seek help. You are not overreacting. You are not broken. You are responding to overwhelming pain with incredible resilience. Thank you for joining me on Nino Oya Podcast. If this brought you clarity or comfort, subscribe, consider leaving a review, or sharing it with someone who might need it. Until next time, take gentle care of yourselves.